Welcome back to Nerdy 4. On this episode, we talk with Andrew George. He is a staple of the Atlanta comedy community. He has been working with Laughing Skull for 11 years since he got out of college. And we talk about comedy. We are both very passionate about comedy. We talk about Elvis. This is my first time talking about Elvis. And very interesting, the energy at Graceland. And we talk about art. Andrew is an artist. We have a great time. Please enjoy it. Hello. Here we are at Nerdy 4, and we have a very special guest. Andrew George is with us.
Hello.
Hello. Do you want to talk into the microphone?
Yes. Is this a good volume?
And is it uncomfortable? Do you need a scoochie coochie?
There we go.
There you go. I like your NASA shirt.
Thank you. It's the nerdiest thing I had.
Oh,
actually, that's probably not true. And that's just the nerdiest shirt that I have that currently fits.
Well, I
change sizes
preach.
a lot.
I can relate. Sizes change. All right. This is where we ask folks what they're nerdy for. Andrew George,
yes.
What are you nerdy for?
Ooh, obviously comedy. Like
Comedy.
a very big comedy nerd. Like from the beginning, like.
As a child?
All stand-up. Yeah, like
the beginning of comedy.
Yeah, like I've read multiple books about it. I'm very nerdy about it, but everyone is because it's a comedy podcast. Other stuff, I like Elvis Aaron Presley.
Love
I'm like
it.
strangely nerdy about that.
My son dressed up as Elvis for my birthday this
Which
year.
Elvis?
The white like
Jumpsuit Elvis?
Jumpsuit
Vegas
yes,
Elvis?
yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's 1969 to 74.
I have the costume. I got the fancy cape one with like
Red cape.
Well, like it has like rhinestones and stuff on it.
You can get a $30 one, or you can get like a $6,000 one. There's a big range.
There's a big range. I agree.
Elvis merch, yeah. What is my nerdy about? I like history and stuff.
Cool. We'll start with comedy, and then we'll go into Elvis, and then we'll go into history.
Yeah.
I have a loose mouse. I'm gonna put this over here. I don't know why that's
like
out.
I'm back in New York.
Okay, so you love comedy. Let's give just a little kind of background about you. I met you here in Atlanta doing comedy.
Yes.
And how long? How did you get started? And then tell me about what it was like living in New York, because it's nightmares.
It's the worst place ever. It should not exist. There's a reason it's the landing point for America, but they just keep going. You don't have to stay there. It's like flying to Paris. Like, this is the nicest airport. We never left. Like, just keep going. Go see the tower. Yes, I started doing comedy when I was 14.
Oh my God. How did you even, were you doing it like in middle school?
In the middle school talent show in 8th grade.
Oh my gosh.
And then in high school, I did it like once a month at the talent shows.
Oh, you guys had a lot of talent shows.
Yeah, I was a drama nerd, obviously.
Oh, no wonder I love you.
Yeah, that checks out. I feel very at home in the costume closet.
Yeah.
So I did comedy throughout high school, and then started doing open mics pretty much immediately after I graduated high school.
Where did you go to high school?
Chestatee High School in Gainesville, Georgia.
Oh, you're from Georgia?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, like an hour north of Atlanta.
Okay.
Former
I'll allow
chicken
it.
capital of the world. Yeah, so then I did.
I thought you were from Ohio.
No, would I have to take offense to that? So then
Why
I
did I
did throughout
think
college. I did improv in college. Don't tell anyone. And then from then I just.
The improv and the
going.
stand-up people are the Sharks and the Jets. There's a bar in Chicago, I'm told, that like the improv kids come out and then the stand-ups come out, and if they get drunk, they will fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. One of these days, those improv kids are gonna win.
Well, they work together.
That's true.
I will say, I mean, there's obviously a superior one.
Yeah.
And it's stand-up.
Yeah. Stand-up is a beautiful piece of art. It's taking your truth and presenting in a way that's fun for everyone. And improv is that shit you do in the car.
I will say, though, I think improv is a good skill to hone and work on, but I don't like people that, I'm not, it's general, but like people that are only ever doing improv, and that like, I think improv's more of like a skill to benefit other things, not just like comedy, like work skills, social skills. Improv can be good as a support, but I don't know. But I do feel like, you know, if you do improv solely and that's it, you do deserve to get made fun of by comics.
100%.
100%.
I feel like stand-up comedy is look at this thing I created, and improv is look at me.
Yeah.
Look what I can do.
Yeah, look what I can
It's
do,
a
instead
only
of look what
child
I made.
energy.
Yeah.
Even though they are working together, but they're all
Yes.
trying to be shinier than the other one.
They're working together to get attention on themselves. I'm on to you, improv.
It's I think it's good to take the improv, because then it makes you more fun at dinner parties and able to be loose and can make weird connections to
Fun
things.
is such an interesting way to pronounce that word.
I like how sassy. I love how sassy you are.
Yeah, it's morning technically, so I'm sassy in the morning.
You're sassy in the morning. How much?
It's 2 p.m., but it's morning for me.
I can, for some reason, I see you in middle school smoking.
No, I was very into honey buns and cinnamon rolls in middle school. Not so much smoking.
So more of a sugar junkie.
More of a sugar junkie. Still am. But yeah, I never really smoked.
Okay, I just like being sassy.
Yeah.
Theater kid.
I would have a long cigarette though. My Essence has a long Corolla de Ville cigarette.
You're just never smoking it.
Yeah.
You're just ashy nothing.
I'm like those dads who would have the cigar, but it was never lit. They just kind of chew on it. I'm that as a child.
Yeah. Old energy.
Yes.
I like it.
Like
Old
like the baby from Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing a little in college. You did. I can't believe you started when you were 14, and they had a.
It wasn't good.
Well, that's a long time to do it. So you go to college. You do some improv. Where did you go to college?
Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so when did you your boots really hit the street and you're like, I'm gonna really try?
The day after college, I graduated and I had to have an internship. So I was an intern at Star 94 for the morning show.
Wait, wow.
Yeah, for the Cindy and Ray show at the time. And I also sent out emails.
Do you know Gay Bob?
I do know Gay Bob, but not from the show. No, from comedy.
Okay.
And then I also got an internship at the Laughing Skull Lounge, and neither one of them paid. So I was working, I think, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. or like 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. at the radio station, sleeping in my car in the parking lot of the radio station, and then going to the Laughing Skull from like 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then like finding somewhere to sleep and then repeating the process for a summer.
Wow.
And I made it until the last day of the Starting 4 internship, and then I slept, I would say through an alarm, but I fell asleep on Tushar Singh's bathroom floor.
On whose bathroom floor?
Tushar Singh. Me and him had a night out, and I was like, oh, my internship last day is tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I can have a couple drinks. And then I fell asleep on his bathroom floor.
Oops.
And then they were like, you're no longer an intern. We were going to hire you, but like that's not a thing anymore.
Wow.
We would tell your school, but we already submitted the paperwork like a week ago, so I guess you got away with it.
You missed one. You have one.
My last day ever, and they're like, I think we're good here. And I was like, I think
This
we're
was
good
Laughing
here.
Skull?
No, this was Star 94.
Oh.
And then
Well,
That's pretty
radio's
rough.
dying now.
Radio's
so joke's on them.
they got sold. They were Lincoln Financial Media. Now they're Who Cares? And yes, and then after that, Marshall the Under the Skull was like, just work here. And it's been 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
So right out of college, you've been working there since
Yeah.
then. That's amazing.
Yeah, because I had to go to college because my parents were like, you have to graduate and have a degree in something. And I was like, haha, joke's on you. I'll do mass comm, the easiest one. And then I got my degree and just never used it or touched it.
Did you enjoy the classes though?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I got to learn how to use cameras and what's not Final Cut Pro? The other one?
Premiere
Yeah.
or Avid.
Avid. I learned how to use that, and I don't even remember what it's called. But then I graduated, and they're like, "Don't use that."
Oh, I the AutoCAD I learned for interior design
Yeah.
25 years ago.
I remember I was a senior, and I started listening to WTF with Mark Maron, and I was in media production classes, and I was like, "What about podcasting? Should we learn that?" I'm like, shut up. That's not a thing. It's 2012. That'll never be a thing. Here's your diploma. Get out of here.
Yeah, radio's staying around forever.
Here's your tape recorder. Do you have extra
Yeah.
cassettes?
Oh my
yeah, it
gosh.
was a very weird time.
Right?
Yeah.
I dragged my feet making a podcast, but
Yeah.
then I got lonely enough and I was like, I got to get some people up in my costume closet. Let's do a podcast.
There used to be a Laughing Skull podcast that was me, Bob Place, Marshall Childs, and Michael Ben Ma, and has been scrubbed from the internet. And if it ever resurfaces, we're all in a lot of trouble.
Oh no. Yeah, it was before cancel culture, huh?
Yeah, way
Gilbert
before.
Lawlin was just talking to me about that, actually.
Who was?
Gilbert Lawlin.
Yeah.
Was talking about that from back in the day.
It was a wild one. It was before video. We had like 50 people. We don't know who they are, but we had like 50 subscribers. We'd get letters sometimes. It was very strange.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's like 2013 to
I bet it was
15.
hilarious. Y'all are really funny.
Maybe. Probably not.
Have you ever tangled with addiction or anything like that?
Yeah.
Do you have any blackouts or?
Oh, yeah. But I can't tell you
Every
because
time
I
I-
don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I've
Every time
woken
I
up
see
with
you-
some silly stories.
Every time I see you, you're just sober or I assume you're sober. Like you're just with it and a normal person and you're talking to me.
Keep it together.
Yeah.
And then people would be like, great conversation last night. I'm like, when did I see you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So also I take a lot of allergy medicine.
Oh.
So I feel like 3 drinks, like, bye.
Yeah.
No more memories.
No
but I'm
more
also about it and just trying to find a sandwich. Not too much of a handful.
Not too
Yeah,
much.
Some of those memories aren't really there.
I guess if you were heavy drinking in the 7 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And getting recorded, you could have been a lot of oopsie
A
daisies.
lot of whoopsie daisies.
Yeah.
And I was also editing it. So sometimes I would take off full chunks because I knew the other people on the show weren't listening to it. So I'd be like, that 5 minutes doesn't exist. And then sometimes just wouldn't upload an episode. And then they wouldn't know for like a week. And then one of their wives would be like, hey, why hasn't there been a podcast in a couple weeks? I was like, all right.
Oh.
I'll put one out.
That's really funny.
So I tried to like hide a lot of incriminating stuff. But it's gone now, so we're good.
Now it's good. So, okay, so I didn't realize you've been at Laughing Skull for that long.
Yeah.
How many years now?
2012. So yeah, 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah. You think I'd be better at this by now?
Oh, you're funny. You're fudging funny. You're one of my favorites.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good. You've met a lot of famous people, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because they used to have headliners come
We
through.
used to be a headliner club every weekend, and then we're only 74 seats, so financially that doesn't really make sense because the headliners need to make money, and so do the staff of the club and everyone else. So just like, you can't really support that on 74 seats. Mm-hmm. So now we're mostly a showcase club, but we still have big drop-ins. Like Mark Normand was there last night.
I saw that.
That was very fun.
Mark Normand.
Yeah.
Was he just in town and he popped over?
He was doing a private gig, and then he was just in town, and he just likes comedy, he likes the Skull. So Paul Inger, who was doing a show with him, brought him over to the Skull.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fun time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Past guest of the show.
Paul's been on the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, we taled about airplanes.
And golf.
and golf.
And golf.
That was a very refreshing episode because it was interesting hearing like y'all talk about comedy. Because like I'm so used to hearing like 21-year-olds talk about comedy. I'm like, oh, no, that's not. Oh, you have no idea.
Are you talking about Paul and I?
No. Whenever like I hear like 21-year-olds
old
be
people.
like, yeah, I'll be on Conan in about 6 months. Like, oh, that got canceled 3 years ago, bud.
That Conan's a podcast now.
Yeah.
Literally, he stopped his TBS show and he's just a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Paul and I are coming at it from a different angle. Like, what can we do cool before we die?
Yeah, I think that's how you should look at it.
And it keeps us off the pole, you know?
Yeah.
Off the pipe and off the pole.
Yeah, Paul loves fishing. He's always out there.
So okay, all right. I'm wondering. You're I think the first person who I haven't gone deep nerd in comedy
Yeah.
yet, and I don't know how much of my cards to show you. Like,
Okay.
Do you listen to all the comedians' podcasts?
I listen to, no joke, 3 to 4 hours of podcasts a day.
Right, I do too.
Almost all of them. Because I'm working on art during the day, so like I'll just be working with my hands and like I'll have a podcast on my computer next to me, and then just that one ends, it just auto plays the next one.
Okay. And I want to talk about your art.
Very into it.
Your art's so cool. But which podcast are you listening to?
Oh, a lot right now. Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast, Are You Garbage?
Are You Garbage
Good
is
for
so
You
funny.
with Whitney Cummings,
Yeah.
Self-Helpless, a whole bunch of them.
I'm writing them down, so you have to talk
Yeah,
slower. Are you?
I've
I
been
don't know
told
how
by
much
everyone I've
coffee
ever
you
met
have.
that I talk too fast.
You talk like you're
talk
from
very
the
fast.
north.
Yeah.
And I'm from the north.
Sometimes when I have a couple of drinks, people tell me I have a Midwestern accent, and I've never been to the
Maybe
Midwest
that's
once.
the Ohio energy
Yeah,
I'm getting.
that
You're like,
could be
gotta
it.
get the words out fast before I freeze to death.
And I smell like butter.
Yum. That's why I like
Mm-hmm.
you. Okay, Are You Garbage? Self-Help.
Self-Helpless.
Who's that? That sounds familiar.
I haven't listened to a while. It used to be Taylor Tomlinson, Kelsey Cook.
Yes.
And Taylor's left since she blew up and everything.
Yeah.
Good for You with Whitney Cummings is an amazing one.
Yeah, I know that one.
That's my therapy.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, I don't have therapy. I just listen to Whitney say what she learned from her therapist.
Right. Oh, well, have you seen Blocks by Neil Brennan?
I have not listened. I've listened to him on everyone else's podcast. I haven't listened to his yet.
Yeah, it's
good?
therapy.
Really?
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn's is very therapeutic this past weekend.
Oh, it's what it's called. Well, I like him. I've only watched him talking to John Mulaney about addiction.
Yes, that was a very good episode.
That was fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to. Theo Vaughn doesn't want to drink because he doesn't want to do cocaine again.
Yeah.
And those things are paired in his
But
mind.
he was so good at it.
It's a skill. It's truly a skill.
He's the best at it. He could have gone pro.
Gosh, I wonder. I don't want to say what I get into when I drink too much.
I just get very hungry and sleepy. I'm not too much of a mischievous drunk.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
I went through like a month in my early 20s where I liked to steal stuff when I was drunk, but then I stole the
You're like a reverse Christmas elf.
I really am. I stole the doorknob to someone's house. Like
that's a
to
good
their
one.
front door. It was a party, and I was like leaving, and it was loose, and it came out in my hand. I was like, how funny would it be if I took this? And then I woke up to so many missed calls, and then I had to overnight them their
Did you
doorknob
leave
back.
the country? Why do you have to ship it?
It was in a different town.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't want to
You
drive
took
back
it
to
across
Smyrna.
So
town
other people
borders?
saw you do it.
Yeah. Well, I was like,
That's
I wasn't quiet about it.
Oh,
I was
there,
like, I
there
got
we
it.
go.
Were you taking pictures with it on vacation?
Yeah. And it was Instagram was news. It was my first story. It was a whole thing.
It's like a gnome. The people who travel with a gnome.
Yeah, and then
take
the next
pictures.
day I was like, never again. We're gonna be a responsible human being.
That's nice. Okay. This past weekend. Okay, well.
Your mom's house, not so much anymore now that they're rich. It used to be super fun.
I just got into it.
Yeah, they changed demographics. It's your show now. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
They're all getting hormone.
Yeah, they're all taking tea now.
Yeah, testosterone. They're getting testosterone shots in the butt.
Sure.
Whatever you like.
Whatever you're into. Whatever you want to put in your butt. It's America.
Go to town. Yeah, and then just off of those, because you usually get like the autoplay. Also, the new thing is not super new, but Joke World. This like 25-year-old just like recaps all the podcasts, so I'll listen to that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So there's this. I started with like just kind of focusing on podcasts that were like explaining jokes.
Yeah.
So there was one, Breaking Down Bits is one where they have like the people come on and talk about their joke. Good one. It's the guy who writes for Vulture for comedy.
Yeah.
Has one. There's this other one, and they don't even. Let's talk about sets. They don't even have their show anymore, but they have in it a joke theory part 1 and part 2, and it's with Harrison Gold. I'm getting too old for. I can't do names. We got to put. It's so good. He came and he was at Red Clay. He does magic and comedy, but he also he went to Harvard.
Yeah.
And so his breaking down joke theory.
Yeah.
Was lovely because it was so nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little big comedy hard on for it. So that's like I like breaking down like, okay, this was tension, this was misdirect, this punchline was unexpected by a regular audience, an educated, like a comedy educated audience.
Yeah.
The comics in the room, that's a grade A joke.
It's so interesting seeing like what different like things you can take away from one joke. It's, like I love it when people like break it down like that. Like it's very cool to see it from like, yeah, like what you're saying, like, oh, comedians saw it this way, but like an audience member, they don't know what you're actually doing. There's like Hampton Youn is one of my favorite comics, and like I'll watch it with
how
someone.
do you say Hampton?
Hampton Yount, and if you listen to his album, if a comic listens to it and just someone who like knows about comedy, you're gonna get two different experiences. It's fantastic.
There's a lot of cliche jokes that work, and it's hard on me.
Yeah,
it works. There's so many like cliche like stupid Mr. X, my wife, like kind of that kind of stuff.
Does it make you angry whenever you see a hacky bit get a laugh?
Oh, it makes me angry when I do them because I just know the audience is going to laugh at it, and I need that laugh right now because I'm going to go into some weird stuff about prohibition and women, and I just got to get everybody on my side for a second. And I'm trying to like wean myself off of it. But why does it keep working? I don't care for that. And then I can just feel like the eye rolls. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm eye rolling myself.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll do something in my act, or like I'll just like fall out of my face. I'm like, I can't believe I just did that. I'm like, oh, that was so hacky of me. Damn it. Or like, yeah, if I like don't get off, I'll be like, anyway, or do like a bail line or something. I'll feel so down on myself for the next 3 minutes.
All right. What are your comedy goals?
Just want to have fun.
Oh,
just want to have
how refreshing!
Fun. Yeah, like the ship is sailed. Like I don't want to be on the Tonight Show. That's not for me. That's not my thing. I just want to have fun. Mm-hmm. I'm on team having fun.
Yeah. Do you? I want to do something before I die.
Yeah.
Like fun.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then I would like to like get good enough at comedy that I have whatever amount of time I can get that I really am proud of.
Yeah.
And record that, and then so my children know I did more than eat potato chips on the sofa and watch television and drink too much white wine.
I think you said on the podcast with Paul that I listened to, you said you haven't like recorded stuff and put it online because you feel like your comedy is for like the people in the room, and I was like, yeah, that's how I feel about mine. Like that's why I don't like have material online because like it's not for those people. Because when you put it online, it's like everyone you've ever met's gonna see this instantly. It's like no, that's not. Yeah. It's not the context in which I want this to be presented.
Oh, I'm whoring myself out online constantly.
You're posting clips now?
Yeah, I'm posting. I'm clipping everything and putting it out. Well, except for the really gross stuff I don't want my children to see. Because I need to try to sell tickets, and I need to like I want to go to the smaller cities and smaller rooms and try to get like all the girls I went to college with to bring all their friends and that kind of stuff.
That makes sense.
I don't
I
know.
see that. Yeah, because you do have to do that if you want a headline and be like the name on the marquee. Yeah.
I really enjoy. I feel like a really good night doing comedy. It feels like the perfect dinner party where I do all the talking.
Yeah.
But like this table is from France and that table, and then we like the jokes are with them, and we're all together, and there's a callback, and we're all oh my god, the French people, you made a souffle joke. What? I like, and then that happened that night. It's so special.
Yeah.
And then you have a beautiful night's sleep.
Yeah.
And it was a dream, and you wake up, and then your children are mean to you the next day.
But you don't know I was a superhero last night. I was crushing at that dinner party. Here's your Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fruit Loops. As many of those days as I can put together before I die, I think that'd be awesome.
That makes sense. I think that's a good way to look at comedy is just imagine like a dinner party and everyone's having so much fun. Like, hey, man, you're the one presenting all the fun. You just go. Here's a spotlight. The next 45 is all you. Yeah, that's a fun way.
Only talk when you're spoken to, right?
Exactly. Or you're out of the dinner party.
Oh my God. Yeah. So okay, that's your goal is to have fun. Do you have it now? Like, when I get ornery about comedy, I refuse to make a set list, and I'm just gonna go up there and do what I feel like talking about. It's written material. I'm not gonna try to ad lib all of it. God no. But it's like I just want to go up and see what's working, and then go with the audience and take them. Or are you?
I've tried to do that, but then it just comes out my normal material, but with a meaner face.
Because you're thinking so
I'm
hard.
like, oh, I'm gonna. This next joke will be like, nope, that's just the way it always is. But it's just my face was off, or I was just faster. So yeah, I try not to like.
A lot of the reviews are like, that funny comic, really mean.
Funny
though.
comic. I thought he was gonna spit at me,
Yeah.
but I was having fun.
But there's someone in the crowd being like, I thought he was going to spit at me. 5 stars.
5 stars. Well, people love spit now. I don't know if you've been on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
It's a
breaking
thing.
news? Is this what's happening?
It's not even breaking news.
No, it's
people want to
old
be
news.
stepped on, spit on, choked.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I heard about that. I learned everything I know about the bedroom watching stand-up.
Yeah.
So there was choking. Was a lot of punchlines were about choking.
Yep.
A lot of it was on the face.
Yep.
So now it's.
I've heard that wrinkle creams mimic the chemical composition and structure of semen
You literally sound like my husband right
because the collagen. I'm just saying science words to justify it.
Yeah.
now. Oh my God.
Peptides and mononucleus.
Oh, gesundheit.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, people are they spitting into
spitting's
each
a lot.
other's mouth?
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's
going around.
Do you
and
RSVP yes or no before?
I think it's a
in writing?
psyop because it came out right around 2019, and then
psyop?
the next year, psychological operation. And I think it was them trying to get COVID around.
There we go.
That's a way to immunize everyone is to spit in
Just
the
spit in
mouth.
each other's mouths.
Like camel.
Back in the good old day.
Back in my day, camels were only toes.
Have you ridden a camel?
I have not. But
not bad.
Do I look like I've ridden a camel? Because I
Yes,
think I have
on
that
safari.
energy.
You,
Yes.
yeah, you
yes.
have that energy.
I have-
You look like you have a canvas print of a picture of you riding a camel
you're
somewhere.
a rich white woman, and we've talked about on other episodes of the show how you need to stop trying to befriend wild animals.
Yeah.
Learn More Janasi was on here, and then Amy kept asking those questions like, "Have you pet this?" He was like, "No, why would I?
No, well,
I'm gonna stay the hell away from it."
Yeah, he was. I told him not to touch prairie dogs out west because they have the plague, and he's like, "I'm not going to touch."
Yeah, and he was like,
wild
"Why
animals."
would I? Why would I have this desire?"
But he's from Africa, and he hasn't seen lions, and
That's because, like he said, they know to stay the hell away
Yeah.
from lions.
are their lions like our bears? Is like, yeah, they're here, but no.
Yeah, don't go up to the things that can kill you.
Yeah,
and
they're
he
not
says
at
white women get
7-Eleven.
eaten by white tourists get eaten by lions in Africa like every week.
I don't
and I'm
doubt
like,
that at all.
I've seen the video of the Asian lady gets out of her car at like a tiger park, and a tiger grabs her and drags her into the woods.
Yeah, because it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're still like, it's like we have house cats that have been. House cats aren't even domesticated. You put a house cat outside for 2 weeks, it's like I went back to feral, like
Yeah.
in no time.
Yeah.
I didn't get my kibbles for one day. It's like, all right, gotta fend for myself.
Yeah, they're kind of. I feel like they're like old rock stars, like like those guys were really thin
Yeah.
and scrappy, and like I can live out of a tour bus. I'm
Well,
fine.
it's like you're saying for the comic girl that wanted to stop drinking because as soon as he drinks, he wants cocaine. That's what house cats do. Like, as soon as you make them fend for themselves for like one day, they're like, all right, going back to killing people. I'm a predator. I'm just gonna hunt for everything.
Taste of freedom.
don't trust that. I don't like. Do you have indoor animals? This
Indoor? I'm an indoor wife.
That counts.
What is an outdoor wife? Is that what they used to call mistresses back in the day? I have my
That's a
indoor
way better
wife
word.
and my outdoor
That's
wife.
my outdoor wife.
Yeah.
She's just mewing by the screen back porch.
Like, honey,
Badly burned. Do not look her straight in the eyes.
She will scratch you.
Scratch at your eyes. Oh my gosh. We have a dog. Yes, I'm
Inside?
Oh yes, in the bed, spooning, mouth kissing, all of it. Definitely, I do the spit thing with the dog.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it like that.
That's probably where it started.
Yeah. I like it so much from my dog. What about my partner? Oh, this is good too.
Or someone just like, probably an alien came down and was like, doggy style, that's what they're into. Okay. And then like it got lost in translation. One thing led to another. Now we're spitting each other's mouths.
Do you have an alien story?
No. I think they're coming. I don't have a story yet.
Do you have an alien story, Amy?
My aunt was abducted by aliens.
Oh shit, really?
But she grew up in Texas, so I think that's just how it goes down there.
What's the whole story?
She came back and she had like a blue dot on her stomach. Like she had like some markings that
Is she
happened.
remembering of it?
She told me about this when I was little, but she's not around anymore because she died from mad cow disease. Much later, and 1 in a million
You mean
people.
space AIDS?
Yeah.
Space AIDS. 1 in a million people die from it. It was so sad. But yeah, so that's her experience, not mine.
But like, did she interact with extraterrestrial beings?
Yeah, they took her in a spaceship. Like they were walking next to a river, her and some other kids. Like they were teenagers, and then they woke up. They saw a thing, and then they woke up there, and it was morning, and they were like all laying on the ground. And
what year is this? Like the 70s?
Yes, probably 60s, probably.
Okay.
Early 70s.
So like DMT vape pens weren't a thing back then.
Yeah,
Like this was,
the drugs were.
This was real.
More limited.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
Good for her.
Yeah. Right? Pretty cool.
Good for her.
Good for her.
I love an abduction story.
Nice.
Let's talk about your art.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure. And will you send us some pictures that we could put into?
Yes.
So
Here's a photo of it here.
yeah, do it
And
and
then
then
this is another
explain
photo
it.
of it.
Explain how you make it.
I talk about on stage. It started as a bit.
You started the
art as a bit.
joke, and then the art came,
Well,
the art came.
like
in the
it
joke?
started as a visual bit because it was
Oh.
pre-COVID. It was like 2019, and I was just being silly on the internet, and I thought it'd be a funny idea to make art of celebrities out of the thing that killed them. So Elvis was the first one out of pills, obviously.
Wait, but aren't people coming up and stealing the drugs out of your paintings?
So many people.
Collages.
That's the first question. More mosaic. That's the first question. Oh, if I ate this, would I die? It's like, that's true of any art. Don't eat art.
Well-
like if I ate that canvas, I wouldn't be feeling great.
Well, you
but also,
know,
this is made out of
someone's-
sleeping pills, so no.
but people are addicted. Will they go and they'll steal your?
It's mostly ibuprofen, allergy pills, and sleeping pills, and cow vitamins. A lot of cow vitamins.
Okay.
So they feel a little beefy, pun intended, and then they take a real nice nap.
Okay.
And then they wake up with slightly less of an infection.
It's not the kind, and without COVID,
No fun
according
pills.
to Joe Rogan. Is it like the picture, like, it's not the kind of drugs that people are, like, they have to hide at the pharmacy?
No, it's all over the counter.
Perfect.
I bought most of these pills from a dollar store in Brooklyn.
Oh,
Yeah. And they, zero questions.
that's perfect.
They came in every day, bought all their pills, and they're like, oh yeah, it's normal.
So are you only doing the celebrities that died from overdoses?
So that's how it started.
Okay.
I did Elvis first, and then the world ended, so I was stuck inside for a while. So I made an Amy Winehouse and Jimi Hendrix, and then both of those blew up online. And I was like,
Ooh.
I don't have anywhere to go, so I guess I'll just keep doing these. And now I've done like 40 of them, and then
Do you sell them on the internet?
I do.
We're going to put the link in the thing.
Yeah, AndrewGeorgeHasAwebsite.com.
These look great.
Is that the name of it? Andrew
Yeah.
George has a website.com. That's
Yeah.
so clever.
And if you go
It's so funny.
/art, you can see all of it. Ooh, these are awesome.
Yeah, and then I started doing commissions after that, and then now it's basically just only commissions. And I've switched to guitar picks because I was crushing up thousands of pills, and whenever you crush up sleeping pills and then hot glue them, a lot of the powder goes in the air. And
Did you roofie yourself?
a lot? And, and the hot glue kind of like activates your mucous membrane, so I'm always kind of like wiping my nose a little bit. So I was accidentally snorting like bottles of sleeping pills, and then she'd be like, "Why am I so tired all the time?"
It looks like you have a cocaine problem,
Yeah,
but
'cause
the
I'm, like,
side
always
effect is the
sniffly,
opposite.
and
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
you're just like,
like,
I'm just doing art.
I was in my room making art.
You
Let me do my
roofie
art, guys. So I was like, I gotta switch something. And the pills smell kind of chemically, and then all my clothes smelled like a burning pharmacy. So then I switched guitar picks, and now it's easier because they will also last forever because they're not powder that breaks down over time.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
because pills break
plastic.
down. The last like 5 or 6 I made out of pills, I treated them and covered them with epoxy so they won't break down. But if you have one of the first 10, you got
Well,
like
the
3 years
OGs,
left on
they're more of a
those.
fresco
That's gonna
than an
fall
oil.
apart real soon. And I use fish oil in some of the hair in the first ones, and I don't know if you've ever smelled fish oil after 3 years, but it smells like what you think
Why is there fish oil in it?
because it looks like good blonde hair.
In the
And
hair.
now I know that's not a good thing to use.
There's hair in it?
Or like for the hair, like
For
in
the hair,
portrait.
for the hair.
Like Joan Rivers' hair
You
is
use
made
real
out
hair.
of vitamin C
No,
and fish oil pills.
he used like the fish oil pills to simulate the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the hair,
There's a little
the
bit
yellow.
of Andrew in every single one.
Yeah. There is a good bit of my hair in there.
Yeah.
Because it like falls out of my face.
Because he's
smooths
just
down.
huffing hot glue and pills all day.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
like
gosh.
Picasso. My
Yeah.
paintings are covered in my DNA.
Yeah, you're
So-
like, why do my teeth keep falling out? I have no clue.
Throughout history, this has been a problem. Painters have been using products that make them go insane, give them cancer.
Mercury
everything.
is a huge thing, yeah.
Making their art.
Any lead-based paints. Keyboard duster.
Oh.
You can't really make art with it, but it's
Can you do a
a lot
whip
of
it?
people use it. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
never
mess
done
with
it.
that.
People
It's scary.
did so much, would huff it so much that there's now a chemical in all keyboard duster that makes you throw up.
Fun.
Because people kept huffing it, and they're like, "Stop!" And they're like, "We're not gonna." And so now, if you try to huff it, I never did it, but I will use keyboard duster to clean out like film gear, and it's gross because then if you like spray it too close and you inhale any of it, you're just like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw up," because they put the chemical in there to literally try to stop people from huffing it.
The thing about
Wow.
throwing up, kind of fun.
Kind of, yeah,
Kind of fun.
Also
Wait,
euphoric.
Is that how
It's
you stay
negative
so
200
thin?
calories.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have an eating disorder?
Yeah.
So
100%.
So
This is the same-
Yes.
enthusiastic.
This is
And
a
you
safe-
should too.
This is a safe space. I'm here for you. I went to a women's college. I got
Oh,
you.
so you're probably really good at it.
Yeah. My son threw up this weekend and he was yelling while he barfed. I'm like, you were going to be a terrible
Oh,
bulimic.
scream puke? That's good. That really clears out the
That's
tonsil
how you
stones.
know you're alive.
I hate throwing up.
It's not
I
bad.
can't. You're good? I can't.
I don't mind it.
You don't mind it?
I don't mind it. I don't throw up from alcohol too much because I know my limits now. Now that I'm an old man.
Yeah.
I haven't thrown up from alcohol in 7-8 years. I throw up from overdoing it at dinner once a month. Not even kidding. I'll wake up at 3 a.m. and be like, there's too much Chinese food in me. And then I have to go purge.
So you do have an eat. So you decide to throw up. Your body doesn't. Your brain
No,
decides.
it's my stomach's call. And then my throat is in agreement with my stomach. And then my brain's like, here we go.
I wish I could. I have been begging to go to throw up
Mm.
on many occasions in my life, and I have not been able to.
Really? If I'm full and someone's like, I found some candy, I'm going to have some candy. And then hours later, my stomach's like, you idiot.
Oh my gosh.
You know what this is.
You're so in tune with your body.
Yeah.
My stomach just.
Not so much because I do it in the first place to myself, and then later it's like,
Well, that's
you
your-
know this happens.
Your brain made a choice, and your
Yeah.
stomach paid the price, and
Yes.
your vocal cords.
Just fine. Like a sultry, like smooth voice in my 60s is gonna be nice.
You can start smoking.
It'd be like, ooh, Marlboro. I'll be like, Chinese food. Too much Lucky Buddha.
My eyes are bigger than my stomach. And now I have got this sexy voice.
I'm like Phoebe in that one episode of that show.
Friends?
Mm-hmm. People like Friends.
Yeah, I don't know which episode that was.
Where she's singing and she has the cold.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then she gets over the cold and she's trying to make someone like sneeze on her or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like
Oh,
picking
they-
up tissues. I've never seen Friends, but I'm white, so it's in my intuition. It's like when dogs naturally dig, I just
Yeah.
know Friends.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As part of our,
It's ingrained in my DNA.
our ethos. I don't
That's
know what that
we-
word means.
That's what we gave to the world is transphobia
It's
and
Ross
suicide
Geller.
jokes. Ross Geller, if Friends was made now, Ross Geller, I stand by this, would totally be a men's rights activist.
Oh yeah,
He would
would've-
be a red pillar.
Oh, hardcore incel.
Yeah. Ross Geller's awful. Chandler needs to go to therapy.
Oh.
Joey would have gotten canceled.
Yeah,
We got Me
100%.
Too'd episode 3.
Monica would have been diagnosed with OCD and
Oh,
actually
she would-
given medicine.
Oh, every time she walked into the frame, it'd be like pills jingling. That
Yeah.
would've been her
Rachel,
Seinfeld
I
introduction.
stand by. Rachel actually has a really good arc throughout the show and
Rachel's
actually
fine.
changes. And yeah, she's a little spoiled, but like she's good. But yeah, Ross sucks. If anyone says that Ross doesn't suck, you're wrong.
I don't have any feelings about these people.
Really?
I watched it growing up, and then I rewatched all of it when it came out because I just watch stuff when I'm working at all times. And there's a lot of things that aren't great in it. A lot of fat phobia, transphobia, homophobia.
Oh yeah, like a recurring joke was Monica used to be fat.
Yeah. Oh my God. And that's the only part of the joke is that she was a big old fatty.
It doesn't
That's
carry
it.
well. Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. A lot of stuff from the 90s did not age well.
Something else. We've like as a parent tried to watch like movies that we thought were funny when we were teenagers and kids, and like like classic ones. I'm so old and my brain doesn't work. The guy who used to be in SNL and he's like does all the funny voices and he has all the movies.
Talking about Dana Carvey?
That's all of SNL.
Yeah.
No, and he
was an improviser.
this
the
guy was
guy.
a stand-up and he played the guitar.
Friends with Lawrence Michael.
He
Talking
did
about
the
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler movies from the 90s.
Adam Sandler movies from the now also still have all those terrible tropes and bad things in it too, though.
I haven't
Grown
seen
Ups
them.
2 is good.
Was it good?
I've never seen it.
I'll die on this hill.
It's a funny go-to favorite movie.
Yeah.
If anyone ever asks, I always say Grown Ups 2, no matter what. It's just a fun thing to do.
Do you think? Do you think like the misogyny as something funny is coming back? Because my son calls me the dishwasher, and then he giggles.
I just don't think that it left.
Yeah, I didn't really leave. We just kind of put it on the back burner for a second, and we're like, don't do that. But the don't do that is what made it funny again. Because now it's
the
forbidden.
tension's
They're
higher.
edgy.
The tension's higher, so we're really not supposed to do that.
And now it's funny because I know I'm not supposed to do it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's.
We'll be
back.
at dinner. And my son's like, the dishwasher's talking. Dad, the dishwasher's talking.
Yeah.
And I laugh because it's
Tell
funny.
your son to have fun being alone.
Bless his heart. And I laugh too because I'm not allowed to load the dishwasher because I don't do it right.
I've been
don't do
working
it
in
right.
a restaurant for the past 10 years. I've never seen a woman wash a single dish. It's all just dudes. Just teenage dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's the dishwasher.
He is. Yeah. The boys load the dishwasher. All right. Elvis.
Yeah.
Tell us.
I feel like
When did you first experience
my
your
dad was super
connection?
into it. I listened to the cassettes when I was little, and then in high school I stopped caring about it because you can't it's like lame. And then years went by, and then I was in Memphis, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember like an Elvis. I'll go to Graceland, see what that's all about. And then the second I got there, it was the most like creatively inspiring place I've ever been. I was like, whoa, I get it now. And then that like reawoke this like weird obsession I had with him.
Paint a picture. You're at Graceland?
Yeah,
and
his
you got
house in Memphis.
His house in Memphis.
And I was by myself. I was there for a comedy show, and then I just find the thing to do in that town.
Yeah.
I love going to shows by myself. I'll travel by myself. I was like, oh, I'll go to Elvis's house, see what that's all about. And as soon as I got there, I was like, I feel at home. This is where I belong. It felt very like, I don't want to be like lame and like, you know when like you go somewhere and you're like you felt like you've been there before but you haven't.
Of course.
I didn't want to be like, it was like super deja vu, almost like a reincarnation sort of thing. I'm like, oh, I remember this place. It was
That's so
very
cool.
strange. And
So
then,
maybe
like,
you were part of his family or him, or you worked with
Maybe.
him. Wait, when did he die and when were you born?
76.
We were born the same year.
Maybe you're Elvis.
Maybe I'm Elvis. No, you were.
No, I was
he died.
born in 2007.
Okay, that makes sense because you are way younger than I am, and I'm like, what's happening? Are you a forever puppy?
No, I'm.
Okay.
I'm.
So Elvis was died in 76. That's the year I was born. The soul needs to regroup before it gets reincarnated.
Yeah. Well, there's also like the egg theory and the string theory and everything. So we're like, really, there's only one consciousness, and we're all just beings of that experiencing consciousness through itself. I did a horrible job of explaining it.
Yeah.
But basically, we're all one soul, just like popping up on Earth, and then experiencing Earth through the eyes of that one specific person. So it's kind of like everyone's been everyone.
Now, did you think of this when you were crushing up pills and snorting hot glue?
Yeah.
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 You're like, it's all
Yeah.
coming to me now.
Yeah, I was like, I got the answers.
Yeah.
And then I
all
tried
the
to start a cult, but my
Yeah.
phone
Yeah.
wasn't plugged in because I didn't pay that bill, so it didn't really come to fruition.
Did you cut your nipples off?
No, I tried to pierce it one time in high school, though.
Oh.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Oh my gosh. A little
Yeah.
at-home piercing.
Hurts a lot.
Van Gogh tried to cut his ear off.
He did cut it off.
Hey, for sure.
did
He
cut it
did.
off.
He gave
He
it to
definitely did.
a sex worker. They were called something else at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, fallen lady. That's sweet.
They probably had more respect back then.
So that's
He was a
and
crazy
he was
person.
an artist,
Yeah.
probably working with something that made him a little cray-cray.
A little bit. But he was a little weird the whole time, though.
Yeah, aren't we all? So you're in Graceland. You're walking, so like it's a stone exterior house, and like is the top part of it just like a regular 1940s kind of colonial,
So it's
decorated, and then the basement's where it gets freaky, right?
Yeah. So the middle level where you go in, it's the dining room on the left, the music room on the right, and then you see the stairs, and then his parents' bedroom behind it. You can't go upstairs because the official story is they don't want you to go upstairs and see where he died in the bathroom because it's kind of macabre and sad, and they don't want you to focus on the death. And then 5 minutes later, you go to the backyard and you see his body. So that's probably not true. That's not the reason.
Well, no, that's his grave, not his body.
Yeah, you don't
He's
see his
not
body. It's not.
taxidermied.
No, it's not like on a scarecrow. It's in the ground.
It's not like a Catholic priest.
That is how I want to go. I want to be taxidermied and have just enough posability. I'm not expecting full articulation, but just like the old 90s action figures where you can like kind of move the arms. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
his finger fell off again.
Yeah.
It's like
the
listening to
glue.
the front of Spirit Halloween. That like.
Yeah.
You ain't nothing but a. Yeah.
There's a guy who had himself taxidermied sitting for his funeral. He's just sitting in a chair. It's recent. And
The
he was
rapper
a
did?
young, yeah.
Yeah, Gigi Allen started, or he didn't start it, but he did that, and then
What a good bit. That's how I
yeah,
want.
fun bit.
Wow. Okay, so did you feel like, did your body start vibrating? Were you just like, you get in there?
Just felt very like at peace and like fascinated at the same time. Just like, whoa, this is all the stuff that he touched, and this like I'm in his house, and then it was just like because. Especially if you're in the South, like Elvis is like this bigger than life character. So to like be in his house, like, oh, he was just like a dude.
Yeah.
Like this is like a real person, and it's like you go to church your whole life, and they're like, oh, you can go check out Jesus' house. Like what? What? Like those are his rooms. Like yeah, go touch it if you want. Have fun. Get on his airplane.
That's the cave he slept for 3 days in.
This is Jesus' plane. Like it's amazing. You can just get on it.
Jesus' plane. Oh, it's made out of wafers.
Yeah. And yeah, he's got some problematic bumps in his history. So I feel like I'm a defender of him because people always like anytime you tell someone you're an Elvis fan, like yeah, but Priscilla's like. But to be fair, she sucks. So.
Oh, I actually don't know the beef with Priscilla.
Oh, she's just. I'll say this on camera. The worst.
Oh, really? Is she the one?
Well, she just
the daughter just passed, right?
Yeah,
recently?
and then 2 days later, she posted on Instagram a promo code for a skincare line.
Oh, that was
But
that was probably some people that work for her.
yeah,
that
but
all
maybe
that.
she'd be like, hey, maybe let's take
It was
48 hours
probably-
off.
I know, right? It was probably in some sort of like they have these like you do your post in advance and you sign
Yeah,
it
it's, like,
up,
loaded
and
in.
no one was paying attention.
She definitely has a team that does it. And then like a week after that, or it was within the same month, she released she was the executive producer on a show on Netflix, like an animated series about Elvis, where he's like a spy. And on the show, they're married again, but like they were divorced for years whenever he passed, and like they like didn't get along and stuff, and like the spirit would be like, anyway, he's dead. So anyway, I'm the executor of the will. This is my mansion. This is my husband, who I love very much. Anyway, put me on the show. And like if you watch the movie, the Austin Butler one, she's like an angel the whole time. They leave out how she like cheated on him with her karate instructor, a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And how her dad like sold her to Elvis, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like very set up.
The
But to be fair, she was 14, so it's not her fault.
Yeah, when she went over to Germany to hang out with him. I saw like that movie with the hot guy in it, the recent
Yeah.
one. I got up to he looks so vulnerable and adorable in it. I was like, oh, this is like a kid. That's a young person.
Yeah.
And my heart was like warm. And when I got to the part where I'm like, I think he's gonna start doing drugs and get sad, I couldn't. I was like, no, I just want to remember the nice times at the beginning.
Yeah.
And not when it gets sad and druggy and.
I feel like they did a good job about like showing the like transition into like chaos and madness that he went through. Yeah.
It's hard being alive.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Uh-oh.
Not a fan. I'll do
Seriously?
it. No, it's fine. It has its moments.
All right,
It's-
you call me if you need
No, it's
something.
good. No, it's good. I like it. Never
Yeah,
mind.
but having
Stay
addiction
retracted.
problems and then getting rich, that was, ooh.
Recipe
Ooh,
for
boy.
disaster. That never
It's-
works out well.
Yeah.
Any success highlights any fractures you have in your.
Especially if you just get rich enough to where you don't have to care about money. People just give you things, and then people want to party with you. And then you're like, well, I can't turn down a fan.
Yeah.
Why would I say no to these pills and this cocaine?
Right. I never got into like hard drugs or anything. That's never been my jam.
That's cool.
Alcohol, occasional marijuana fella.
Beep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the old school.
Yeah.
Keeping it safe. So there's this book I listen to and I read at night when I can't sleep, and it talks about the rituals of creative people throughout history.
Yeah.
And I kind of like hone into that idea of like, oh, okay, this person woke up, and like even in the 1700s, like would have their coffee, and then no one was allowed to knock on their door until 1 o'clock because that was the time that they were going to be creative.
Yeah.
Did you feel that energy when you were in Memphis? Like there's like creative energy. There's
like as soon as I left, I was like, I want to go and like just write some stand-up, like get on stage immediately. Like, I wanted to like do the thing.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it while you're still
very,
alive.
Like, so creatively inspiring. Just like, I got to get it done. I got to like make my mark and like do my thing.
Maybe that's the energy of an early death too.
Could be. But 46 is a ripe old age for.
Shut up! I hate you.
Pretty good.
I'm gonna bury you in my backyard. No, it's kidding.
Probably fine.
It'd be cheaper.
Oh, these comics are so depressed. I know Matthew English, bless his heart, came on and he suffers from depression, and every time he doesn't respond to a text, I'm like, you can't do this to me.
Sometimes I think I suffer from depression, and then I talk to another comic, and I'm like, I am fine. I'm the happiest dude on the planet. I'm crushing it out here.
I think there's a certain amount.
I just get sad sometimes.
I do. I think there's a certain amount of depression that we all get, or sadness, and especially with social media, and just like living right now with like so much in our phones instead of outside in the sunshine working hard and getting all the endorphins you get from that.
Yeah.
We're all just going to be a little sad now.
What I think about a lot is a lot of these people who are like clinical depression and chemical depression is definitely a thing. But a lot of my friends, people I know who are like sad, I'm like, are you depressed or do you just work at the bank?
Yeah.
Like, I think you just hate your life.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're sad because you should be sad because nothing's making you smile right now.
The real depression is legit scary.
Yeah. Like if you have like Gary Goldman style depression.
But I gotta be like, I will get depressed and I have to chart my, not to get too personal, my cycle, because there is a part of my cycle where I will make the worst decisions. I will burn everything I love to the ground.
Oh yeah, I have a girlfriend. Yeah, I know.
And then I'm like, I don't feel at all like that. Like, and if I spend money or make any big decisions during that time on something, I regret it. So
I get that. Not because of my cycle, but sometimes I'll do the same thing, and we're like afterwards. One time I spent $12,000 on a van.
Yes.
And then
I
like came down to earth, and I was like, oh no, that was a mistake.
What
I
were
was
you gonna do in your
little
van?
manic.
Were you gonna go on the road with Elvis?
I was gonna start a podcast in it, and then
because they're super well insulated and quiet.
It was a 1978 Chevy G20 with no AC, no heat.
Oh my
mold. God. I found a squirrel skeleton up under the floorboard. And I was like, yeah, this is my podcast too. And if you're in it for more than 35 seconds, it's like 98 degrees. So I never recorded a single podcast in it.
Oh my gosh.
I spent a few $1,000s more fixing it up. It caught on fire twice.
Oh, wait, what?
The second time I took it to the mechanic, I dropped it off, and the dude called me to tell me what was wrong with it. And I answered the phone, and he goes, I don't know how you didn't notice. I was like, dude, you're not my girlfriend. You can't talk to me like that. No, I pay you money, fix my van. And he was like, dude, just throw this away. And then I ended up giving it to my dad's wife's brother, who I've never met.
You donated
for $0. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I was like, if you can start it, it's yours. And he started immediately. I was like, ugh. I probably should have kept it.
I love this story so much. It makes me feel so much. I spent $5,000.
I did not have $12,000. That was half my money.
You don't have that money. I kind of have the money, but I still get in trouble with my husband. I spent $5,000 on an Ancestry.com consulting, so they'll do like my history for me because I can't spend all that time focusing.
23andMe is like $27.
I was going to say $5,000
No, it's not.
sounds a lot.
DNA. But I feel it was one of those. I was in a weird space, and I was like, I'm all gonna die soon. I gotta like get this together so my kids know who we're related to. Why is that necessary? They don't need to know who they're related to.
I don't know any of my grandparents' parents. I don't know where they came from, what their names were. I assume they're white. I don't know. I don't know, and I'm fine with that.
Maybe they loved Elvis and Vans.
May have been Elvis. I don't know.
I love this. Like, we gotta give a name for it when not like rage buying or
it's just
manic.
Being manic. I was just manic.
Do you have like manic episodes?
Yeah.
A lot of great ideas.
Yeah.
And then do you have like the dip at the depressive part?
Yeah, but it's pretty short lived because also the way my brain works is I have to be working on something at all times. So like once I finish something, I'm like on to the next one. So like I don't have time to like slow down and just like sit for a while. It's like, well, I'll finish an art piece. I already have like 2 other commissions. So I'm like, all right, on to the next one.
Yeah.
So I don't have time to
You're
like.
going to sit with your thoughts?
No.
Oh, my God.
I also hate sitting with my thoughts, which is why I have a podcast going. I'm working my art and I'm doing emails.
Yeah,
and
this is
I'm,
just
like, texting.
ADHD.
Yeah,
it?
very hardcore ADHD.
Yeah, for sure ADHD.
Oh,
Yeah.
fascinating.
I just have to be doing something at all times. I don't like my hands to not be moving.
I used to be able to focus, and I can't anymore. I have to have a podcast going and 2 different creative projects, so whichever one I feel in the mood for, and then like redecorating something. Yeah,
I didn't think I had ADHD because I was like a good student all through school. So I was like, oh, I don't have anything, but just school was easy, I think.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And then now I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, I clearly have ADD. And my TikTok algorithm keeps trying to tell me I have autism.
Oh.
What that's about.
Is TikTok diagnosing?
Yeah.
Well, did it come up with any bulimia?
And they're not trying to sell me anything. They're just like, just so you know, it's you. And I'm like, all right. I don't think it's like a marketing thing. I think they're like, just so we're all on the same page.
Right? It's interesting to see what TikTok thinks you are and what you
I'm
are
glad
not.
it doesn't think I'm a pervert anymore. Because when you
Oh, no.
day 1 in the app, it's just like, you want to see some boys dance? It's like, I don't.
Some voice. Well, that's
I'm done. Like, you want to see some girls dance? It's like, no.
Underage?
Also, I don't know how I wasn't asking questions. I'm not clicking on the comments. I'm just next. Show me how they make Burger King Whoppers.
Oh my God. The people on TikTok, whatever's coming through my thing is everything's moving so quickly. My old brain gets car sick. I don't know what's happening. It's too much.
It's a lot.
I like the history ones.
Yeah, I'm big on history. Spooky facts about the woods. Hotel deals.
Wait, what's a hotel deal?
Just like cheap hotels and places you can go. My algorithm knows exactly who I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How to make different fast food items. A lot of fast food employees. A lot of those. My algorithm's specific. It's good. I've got a really curated feed now. It's nice.
Maybe I have to spend more time with mine.
You gotta like the stuff that's good.
Oh, that's too funny. So you like history?
Love history.
What do you like? Okay, do you like real history or do you like a ghost used to live here and?
Yes, any kind of weird history I love. Spooky stuff I love. Like weird anomalies, like crazy, like unexplained stuff in history, like the dancing plague is the thing I'm obsessed with.
Oh.
They think it was psychedelics that got in the bread or the water supply. There was this village in Europe, and they couldn't stop dancing.
Oh my gosh.
Like everyone's just tripping balls for like months, and a lot of people died of exhaustion because they just couldn't stop dancing, and they had to build like dance floors to be like, fuck it, dance it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then after that, the movie Footloose was made as a PSA.
And they're like, we have to put some laws in place. And then that guy turned out to be the Trinity Killer. Wild.
Yeah, crazy.
What the actor who played?
3 people know exactly what references.
I was one of them. I got all that. That John Lithgow
played the Trinity Killer in Dexter, and he was also the preacher.
Yeah. Once again, it's just ADHD.
Jokes are fun when you explain them.
Here's the flowchart of why I'm clever.
Yeah, I'm the worst audience member though. I'm like, what's happening? Wait, why? I was alone as a child.
Samesies. That's why my brain makes those weird connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you done? Okay, this is what. Can I tell you my fantasy? And then you tell me if you've done. I want to go on a history tour with a historian and the psychic medium, and the historian's like, 1843, Roger Gumpton, and the medium's like, actually his wife's here and he didn't do that. She did it.
Actually, I love an attitudey ghost walk. It's like, actually she thinks you suck.
I went on a ghost tour in New Orleans, and it was really fun because the person giving the tour was like talking about. He was like, I'm going to tell you all the history that the ghost stories are actually based off of, because most of the time that there's ghost stories, it's just because there's atrocities that happen, and everyone in town was like, what if it's supernatural, not just somebody being the worst human possible? And they're like, there's ghosts in there. It's like, no, that was just slaves they kept in the basement and they didn't feed and they died. It's like, oh, one of these is a lot more light. But I was like, yeah, most ghost stories are just terrible, like, atrocities told in a lighter way.
But there's happy ghosts too. I mean, there's people who are looking out for you and things like that.
Little kid ghosts and stuff that like dance in the hallway and whatnot.
Yeah.
I went on a ghost walk in New Orleans, and there's all these stories about a hotel that used to be an orphanage. And apparently, back when disposable cameras were a thing, people all the time would like go to get their film developed, and there'd just be pictures of them sleeping in bed. Taken
the
from
kids.
like the height of a child. That's like the kid ghost, like, "He gotcha."
I like how y'all are like,
I need to
oh,
touch
kids
you.
ghost.
Yeah.
That means a
Oh,
child
cute.
died. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's so cute.
Oh, was it a fire?
Oh God.
I love a little dead kid.
Right now.
Right?
Yeah, I do.
I want there to be like a modern ghost walk, like around Midtown, and be like, and this is where she was shot because she put too much mayonnaise on the sandwich.
Oh, right. Yeah, all the shootings in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's shootings everywhere.
Everywhere. You can do it anywhere.
This is true.
I bet there's one going on right now. America,
Probably.
baby.
From the time we started, someone got shot.
Yeah.
Welcome to Atlanta.
Someone got a gun without a background check.
This podcast is brought to you by Grady Memorial Hospital.
If you have a trauma, you're supposed to go there because they have a lot of experience.
They're really, Actually, I did have a friend text me yesterday being like, weird question. I have to come down to Atlanta, bring my friend to an ER for like a knee injury they had. Where should I go? I'm like, if they weren't shot or stabbed, don't go to Grady, go to Emory.
Yeah.
I heard that if you want to get like a slow or like a faster wait time at Grady, if you have like appendicitis, something, just shoot yourself in the foot and right through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then while I'm here,
you get to the
can you
front of the
check
line.
this?
There's one of the hospitals in Atlanta is the best for if you have a stroke. You're supposed to go to that one, and I got to get that tattooed on my hand.
Oh yeah.
I think it might be Piedmont. I'm not sure, but they have like the state of the art
I think
stroke.
it is Piedmont. Yeah.
Yeah, but for all you non-Atlanta people, if you got shot or stabbed, go to Grady. They're one of the top in the country at trauma.
So there's during New Orleans when they had the Katrina experience, they had like those two hospitals.
Sounds like an immersive IMAX thing.
experience.
Yeah. I
was the
paid
VR
$5,000 to go to a Katrina
The
experience.
water fan was off when I went, so they could give me a moment.
Oh my gosh.
I started on that. Would have been fun.
Yeah, we waited 6 months for our FEMA
So
check.
they had two hospitals. One was a military hospital, so they were used to having shortages, traumatic injury fixing, and the other one was like a bougie one. And
Were
the
they like practicing TikTok moves?
Okay. This was before TikTok. This was Katrina, like back in the 20 years
MySpace
ago,
moves.
10, 15 years ago. The bougie one lost a lot more patients, and they might have actually killed some patients on purpose. And the military one was fine, and they were just calmer about not having everything perfect, I guess. So I feel like that's Grady. Grady is our
they're like, this is fine.
we got
We're used to
this.
this.
Yeah.
That checks out. New Orleans sounds like a terrifying place.
So it's one of the most haunted places.
Yeah.
I went to a voodoo tour, and I have put me in your van face. Okay, I talk to everyone. I smile too much. I've gotten in a lot of trouble for it. But
You definitely seem like somebody would pay a ransom for you.
well, I also make eye contact and I smile at strangers. And
Can't
then
do that.
Yeah.
I went to this voodoo tour of this museum, and there was a guy there. He's like, it was the first floor, and he goes, you want to come upstairs and see some Haitian art? And I'm like, yeah, sure, put me in your van. And I go upstairs. I see Haitian art. I'm like, this was lovely, thank you. He's like, would you like to see a snake? We go to another room. Never go to a second location.
Never.
We go to this. We
It
go
sounds
to
like
the
you went
next
to
room.
a third location.
You're right. He takes a blanket off of what looks like should be a large coffee table or ottoman. It is a boa constrictor all wound up to be the mass of what should be a big coffee table.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is how I die. In New Orleans, I'm going to be food for this snake. And then, he pointed out all the buildings that are so haunted people can't live in them from that one.
Too ghosty in there.
Too ghosty.
I don't trust snake people at all.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird to have a snake.
A big one too. There was this snake, and it was getting smaller, and so the owner took it to the vet, and the vet said, "Are you sleeping with the snake?" And she said, "Yes."
Was it
And
stretching out?
the snake was losing weight so he could eat her.
Yeah. Yeah, because if they stretch out your
measuring.
length, they're trying to figure out if they can eat you yet.
He was just dieting so that he could eat his owner. It's not a friendly friend. A dog is a friendly friend.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I stretch in Jimmy John's, so I get it.
So you throw right up.
Can I get this sandwich in?
You're a little bitch with your food.
I really am. I'm a big time little bitch.
I love you talking about eating disorders. Oh, you're just a little bitch. You don't have an eating disorder.
You be a good life coach.
Yeah.
Bitch about it.
Stop throwing up. You got to keep
Stop it.
If you're gonna throw up, don't complain about it.
Have you thought about not being sad?
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll be $200.
How does it make you feel? How does that make you feel? How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel?
I've never done the therapy.
You haven't?
No. No.
How can you write comedy if you don't talk about your therapist?
I do like that you said the therapy.
The
It does
therapy,
make
I
it does
don't-
make you
I
sound
don't
like
do
a
the thing.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
It is.
I just listen to podcasts. That's the same
You
thing.
haven't been in crisis yet, or court ordered. There you go.
That's true, yeah.
I go to therapy.
All right,
Do you have to
how
pay for it if it's court ordered?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you still got to pay for it.
Yeah,
Taxpayers.
We're not getting free health care
Yeah,
out
that's-
here.
I
You
mean,
want a
I
free
found a
gun?
loophole.
You want a free gun? We'll give
I'm
it to
robbing
you.
a gas station today.
Okay, Andrew, we are going to do rapid fire questions to find
Yes.
out how nerdy you are. I
Okay.
feel like you're inching away from me. Am I too
No,
close
no, no.
to you?
You're good.
Okay.
Well, you're just sizing them up to see if you can eat them
I'm
after
going to
this.
eat you.
Yeah.
You're going to fit
You're like,
it
I
in.
think I could do. I think I could.
I will
Get
not
him.
throw you up like the little bitch you are.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, all right, here we go. Have you ever been to Comic-Con?
Yeah. No, not Comic Con. Dragon Con.
Dragon Con.
Every year.
Have you done it sober? Every year.
Yeah, I've done it sober. Well, it's
You
multiple
had
days.
to think for a long
Well, it's
time.
multiple days. So, like,
Yeah.
I'll go in the afternoon, stone cold sober, and then I'll have some beverages at night.
I want to go. I've never been.
It's so much fun.
It's
Dress
fun.
up.
You
I
can
wanna
dress
come.
up.
Yeah.
Can I come? Can I come with you?
Absolutely.
Do you go with Dan Weeks?
Yeah, we meet up.
Ask him.
Yeah, it's just like a big festival, essentially.
I bet Dan Weeks. I met Dan Weeks at not at Dragon Con. I saw him at Dragon Con. Talked to him. He reintroduced himself 3 times to me in the same night. And then like 2 weeks later, I was like, "Yeah, I saw you at Dragon Con. You're pretty fucked up." He was like,
You were at Dragon Con?
I was like, I was like, Jesus
I was
Christ.
at Dragon Con.
Yeah. I'll bring it up. He's coming on soon. I'll talk to him about
Next
it.
Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you ever owned or ridden on a unicycle?
I've ridden on one. I've attempted to ride on one, but I've never successfully ridden one.
It's really hard.
Very hard.
When do you have a woodwind instrument?
No wins.
Do you have a clip-on tie?
Not anymore. I did when I was a child.
Anymore.
I had
Did
multiple when I was a child.
Oh.
My dad's a federal judge. He wears them to this day.
a clip-on tie? A federal judge?
Yep. On the stand. And my graduation robe from when I graduated college 12 years ago.
He's wearing your graduation
It's a
robe.
Justin's robe. They're the same thing. And he like saw it in my closet one day. He's like, "That's the same robe I have. Can I have this?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Great, now I have 2." And then he like lost the other one. So he's just like, "Where's my graduation robe and a clip-on tie?" And he's like,
Very-
"Life in prison."
Oh
and
my
he's like,
gosh.
wearing a costume of me.
Federal judge.
Superior court judge. So it's like all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Wow. My
Yeah.
mom was a judge in family court.
Ooh, fun.
In upstate
Actually,
New
not
York.
fun. Very sad.
Sad. Yeah. Family court. But in
A lot
upstate
of
New York.
dead kids, probably.
A lot of
of
kids.
ghosts in
She
that
killed
court,
a lot of
probably.
kids.
No, she was just getting people their child support. She did get death threats.
They all do.
Yeah.
They
and
like-
thank you notes.
Oh, that's
Yeah, sweet.
more rare.
Yeah, like I never thought I was gonna get money. Thank you. Have you ever done a Death Star Lego?
No.
I
no.
think your little mosaics
It's the same thing.
Are kind
I'm just
of
making-
like
It's the most tedious thing on the planet, yeah. Each one takes like 200 hours.
and it's like your fortitude. You're not giving up.
Yeah.
Hours and hours.
A lot of people have been like,
Same
"Oh, what if
energy.
someone steals your idea and like starts making them?" I'm like, "Go to
Yeah,
town.
you're like, good
Have
luck.
fun."
A year from now, you'll have your first product.
All right, good luck.
Do you have a soldering iron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had because the microphones are always breaking at the Laughing Skull, so you have to. That's how you fix it.
You
just solder them together.
fix them.
Yeah, Jamie McDaniel taught me how to do it years ago. The OG
Cool.
manager of the skull.
That's cool. Do you have a cape?
You ever talked about this?
Can I plead the fifth?
No, you literally admitted to it because we were talking about Elvis stuff earlier.
I got a bunch of capes. I've got so many capes. I can
Can you
make
bring your
a
capes
fort out
over?
of capes.
Can you bring your capes
got a
over
cape
to
day.
play with my capes?
Yeah.
Let's have a cape day. Okay, I gotta write this down. We should just have a.
I've got Elvis capes, Batman capes, a space cape, which is custom made. I was fit for like a legit velvet cape years ago by the owner of the Vortex. Who was gonna spend like $200 on a cape for me to walk up and down Peachtree Street playing a banjo. I was gonna be Banjo Boy.
Oh my God.
It was to start beef with Baton Bob. And this was before TikTok or anything. This was just a fun thing we were gonna do, just to entertain ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
Because he was Baton Bob, if you don't know, he would like walk up and down P Street, twirling a baton, blowing a whistle,
And blowing his whistle.
just for fun. And they were like, we need another street performer to like start beef with him.
Can you play
for
a
no
banjo?
reason
A
other than
banjo
fun.
or a ukulele?
Banjo.
Do you know how to play a banjo?
No.
They're really hard.
That's kind of why this didn't fall in heaven. I was like, I don't even really know how to play banjo.
Yeah.
I know like a song. and,
You're like, I'll
one
wear
roll.
the cape, but I'm not learning how to play a
Yeah,
banjo.
I think the
And-
ukulele would have been more successful.
Yeah, it's easier to play. And Baton Bob's so good on the whistle.
He is.
He's gonna outplay me every time.
Yeah, and the sass and the frass and he's
Yeah,
got a stick
wears
he can
a
hit you
tutu,
with.
a whole he gets sunglasses. I just had the one cape.
Yeah. We were having a graduation. My children went to school on 10th Street, and it was like a very solemn moment. We were having graduation up on top of like the top lawn, and you could see like the cityscape. And then we hear beep 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 beep. So Baton Bob was parading around.
It's such a good business he has though, because he just everyone knows him because he walks around Peachtree, and then he does like personal appearances where you pay him money, and then he'll like come to your gallery opening or like your sandwich shop or whatever, and he'll take pictures of the people and be like, Baton Bob's here, and he gets cash for it. Genius.
I heard he's married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob Jamerson on Facebook. We're friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is a small world. I love it. Have you ever held a ferret?
Have I? It's just a furry snake. It's another thing I don't trust.
It's a furry snake. That's the
I'm
most
sure I
accurate
have as a
words.
child, but I can't
That's
remember a time when
I think furry
held one.
snake is
But I'm
the-
sure I have.
a perfect definition of what that is. Have you ever had an aquarium?
Oh, yeah. And then it dried up. The fish died almost immediately, and then it dried up and became a book
terrarium.
holder.
Oh, a book holder.
Yeah, I just put books in it.
Oh, okay. That's funny. Coin collection? Sword?
So my grandfather gave me and my brother those the maps of the USA with all the quarters
Yeah.
in them.
Yeah.
And he put the quarter in, and he would mail us the quarters.
Oh.
He would send us two, just one to keep and one to put in the map. But ice cream in elementary school was 50 cents, so he'd send me the 50 cents. I'm like, that's a big cone.
And then you could keep your food.
My map has 0 quarters on it.
Yeah.
But I have so many fond memories of me eating ice cream.
You know what? YOLO.
Mm-hmm.
You only ice cream once.
You only YOLO once.
So did you ever have a sword or a friend who's like, you gotta see my sword, or a father or an uncle? Oh, you're having
The George
deep breaths.
family has no less than 5 swords
The George
in the
family.
well. Then it's gonna get
passing
passed down.
down.
And
Oh.
it's me and my brother get along very well. And I feel like the only argument whenever my father passes, it's gonna be a friendly argument because we were both gonna be like, no, you should have the sword. So like, there's 5 or 6 swords that have to be split up amongst us.
Okay.
And they're good swords.
Ooh.
We got a Civil War sword, we got a Viking sword, we have a Japanese samurai sword that's 2 chips in it. I convinced myself it was from a neck. I don't know what it's from. We have so many swords. We have a replica World War I sword. We have a bayonet that goes onto a World War II rifle. We have
Oh my
so many
gosh.
swords in the family.
Are they ones that your family have gotten from participating in these wars, or where this one guy got real like
A
shoppy
couple
on
were
eBay?
purchased just because my dad's also a history buff and likes artifacts. And like every year for Christmas, I'll get him like some kind of history thing. Like last year, I got him a piece of the Berlin Wall, and like I got him like
Hitler's teacup.
no, I got him Hitler's book.
Mein Kampf.
Bad book. Don't read it. Actually, I haven't read it.
I haven't read it.
Don't read it. What were we talking about?
History artifacts you get your father.
The swords, yeah. So some were purchased, but before he was a judge, my dad was a criminal defense lawyer in Dahlonega, and a lot of people didn't have the money to pay him, so he'd just like take things, he'd barter with them because it was the 90s in North Georgia. So we got a pool table from one guy's divorce. And then 2 of the swords were like, we like got some guy to jail, and he was like, I got the sword. My dad was like, I love swords. We're square.
Right? That's-
Enjoy your freedom.
That's law practices in a small town.
Yeah.
I have a friend, and her dad is a lawyer. She's a lawyer now too, but he would have people like assemble her Christmas gifts,
Yeah.
like tricycles and things, because he didn't want to do it.
We never paid for a single egg growing up because my dad did a divorce for a guy. I won't say his name, but we called the eggs that guy's name eggs because he'd just show up once a week with like 60 eggs and be like, here you go. Thanks for getting my divorce settled away.
Old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, small
Same
town.
with corn, a lot of weird stuff.
Moonshine.
One time moonshine, yeah.
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 Yeah. Good times. Have you ever framed a puzzle?
No, I don't like puzzles.
Did you? You did literally do it for your art.
Because I like to keep work at work. I'm making my own puzzles all day. I don't want to like do someone else's puzzle when I'm done.
Amen. Did you ever go to this is band camp, Bible camp, writing camp, space
I
camp,
went
math
to
camp,
science camp, Boy Scout camp, drama camp, soccer camp,
Wow. Your parents did not want to see you in the summer.
Christian camp.
Ooh, that didn't stick, did it?
No. A lot of camps. I was busy my entire childhood. I was an activity kid.
Yeah.
I had to be doing something.
You and your brother? Just 2 of you?
Yeah, it's just the 2 of us.
And then they'd ship you away for the whole summer?
No, it was like week home, week summer, week home, week summer for the whole summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
I wouldn't mind summering.
Yeah. I hated most of the things I did, but I feel well-rounded now because of it.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's kind of what childhood is supposed to be. It's like try a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's like I didn't like that. Like this one.
It's getting I'm in my 40s now, and I'm getting real specific about what I like to do, and I am not in the mood to do the stuff I'm not in the mood to do. It's a problem
I get
because you
that.
have to fake it sometimes, and I can't. Did you ever wear a costume to school? And it wasn't like Halloween or Spirit Week.
We did scene day once a semester in high school where we dressed like scene kids, like emo kids. But looking back on it, it was just what we wore every day plus eyeliner. We just wanted to wear eyeliner for a day. We're like, no, we're doing a thing. It's not because we think it looks super badass or anything. So we do that. So I think that's the extent of the costumes we did.
Yeah. Eyeliners. Did you do the liquid? Because that's hard.
No, it was a pencil. But we did the lighter because we did it right, obviously.
I saw that in a movie. Yeah. Was there ever a time in your life your parents refused to take pictures of you?
No, but there's some photos where I'm like, you guys didn't want me to change shirts. Like, remember when text shirts were very popular? Like, a shirt says, like, it wasn't me, it was my evil twin.
Oh.
There's like a very nice family photo where we're wearing exactly that shirt. And it's like hanging in my brother's living room. I'm like, can I Photoshop that out? Like, this is so embarrassing. It doesn't look good with a bowl cut.
Oh,
It was,
yeah.
Yeah, 2001 was a weird time.
Oh, I had a bowl cut in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
OG. Have you ever written fan fiction?
No.
Have you ever said that's not canon?
That's not canon. No, but I have had that argument. But I've never said those exact words.
Okay, I'm going to count it. Have you had a birthday party for a pet?
No, I'm allergic to all animals.
Oh.
So I've never bonded with a furry creature. I had a dog, but he had to live like in the backyard, far away from the house, or I'd die.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad my dog's not in here right now.
We're fine.
Oh, okay. Did you pull one off of your art? Do you have a tattoo?
Yeah.
What's your tattoo?
I have a bunch.
Do you?
Yeah, unless my dad's listening to this, then I'm just kidding.
Are any of them dorky?
Yeah, I have a panda playing a banjo. I have finger guns. I have a planchette for a Ouija board. I have a peacock. I have a bunch of stupid stuff. I have a sailboat. A bunch of silly stuff. I have like 9 birds.
9 birds? I can't see them on you.
They're very
wearing
well
the clothes, so they're all very hidden. Are they all clustered around your butt?
Half sleeve on my arm and then both my thighs.
Okay, so they're just for summer tattoos. Yeah. Do you keep binoculars near a window so you can look at birds?
No. No.
You ever been to a Rush concert?
Rush? Mm-hmm. No, I'm a child.
Do you have tell me your celebrity crush?
Ooh, it changes around a bunch. Ooh. I don't really have one. I never the first celebrity I got fixated on was Britney Spears, and I feel like I ruined her.
Oh, it was your energy
I feel like
beam was
did
too
that
strong.
To her. Yeah, because she just felt some love coming from somewhere, and she didn't know where, and it drove her crazy. So I don't want to do that to anyone else. So I try to stay.
Yeah, it's not being a Disney child or getting too much money at an early age when your brain developed. It was Andrew's love.
Yeah.
There are videos
Christy
of
Carlson Romano's not doing great right now. That was also me. Sorry, Christy.
There's videos of Britney when she's when she's becoming famous, and she's so articulate and smart, and I was like, is that the same girl? So I don't know what happened.
There's rumors going around that this is a clone. Also, I saw on TikTok.
Oh, it's a clone.
That she was like doing a dance move, and when her hand goes over her eyes, you can see that her makeup disappears for half a second whenever her hand goes over it. So it's like a filter, as if someone else is pretending to be Britney, and they're putting Britney filter on her face. Seemed pretty compelling.
Oh, that's all the evidence you need. I just think it's it's terrible. Child celebrities have a hard life because your brain is not developed yet, and then it just kind of wrecks you because you're like, oh, so everyone loves me and I can do whatever I want and there's no consequences for things, right? And you're like, yeah, this is the time you need to learn what consequences are and how to live a normal life. So I do feel bad for a lot of child celebrities.
I just watched the Aaron Carter documentary on Hulu. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't watch
I'd be dead. I'd be dead if I was a child celebrity. I'd be dead right now for sure. I almost didn't make it with no money, and I would for sure have died of a heart attack.
Do you just do too many drugs and then your brain doesn't work anymore?
I think that's a lot of it.
And then how many exactly are that amount of drugs so I don't do that on accident?
2 handfuls.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, 2 handfuls of whatever. All at once,
Advil.
you're done. That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Fish oil, 3-year-old fish
That's
oil
the
pills.
problem.
A Joan Rivers worth of fish oil, you're done.
You're done. And you're smelly.
You can smell very bad.
All right, I think we've done it. Do you watch Jeopardy on Netflix?
No.
Okay. You're very nerdy.
Okay.
And I think actually would like to qualify the kind of nerd you are. I forgot to do this to Amanda.
Are there genres of nerd?
Well, yes, but I haven't. I'm just making them up as I go along. because you have this like combination of like classic, like the Dragon Con, the swords. Oh heavens to Betsy!
But they're like history, so I guess
the
that's
capes. So there's like this like theatrical, but also linear. It's because
it's theatrical, but not fantasy.
yes,
If that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not. Are you a Star Wars nut?
No.
Yeah, so
Star
that's
Wars
the
is as
fantasy.
far as I'll go into fantasy. Game of Thrones does nothing for me. I hate Harry Potter.
Oh.
It just.
Okay.
I don't hate it. I just strongly dislike it, and I think it's for children, which is fine. But like,
It's okay.
never into like fantasy stuff.
Right.
Star Trek did nothing for me.
So it's So you are like really intensely interested in about learning things, and you are good at learning. But it has to be like in reality. Like it has to be history. It has to be
It has
Elvis.
to mean something. Like like the thing about history, I'm like, oh, this thing happened, and now because of that, this.
Yeah.
Like I'm very fascinated with that. Like one thing when I moved to New York, I thought was the coolest thing is I was raised in the South and taught history in the South. So in my head, my whole life, William T. Sherman was the worst human who ever existed. He burnt Georgia to the ground. I moved to New York. There's a golden statue of him in the park. I was like, oh, wait a minute. The villain from my child. Oh, okay. I got it. Okay, now like looking at things through that lens as an adult, I'm like way more into like history and like nerd stuff. Because like growing up, I was like, whatever, I don't care about this. But now I'm like, wait a minute, what? And now like genuinely care about it.
You're an intellectual nerd in a cape.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. This is fun.
It's
Thank
so
you.
nice to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And see.